In this episode today, we're going to is Bevo's future at the Dogs look bleak? Did the AFL under the radar wise bring back a certain round from the past? And in the NRL, is a certain team in its second season the real deal? Plus, also that and more. Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video and welcome to another episode of the BD Footy Wrap Up. And so pretty interesting weekend in footy. We got plenty of things to talk about. Well, not much thing to talk about, but a little bit as well. With that, the AFL, we got is it finals or bust for Luke Beveridge over at the Western Bulldogs? Did rivalry round make its return? Are the Dolphins the real deal in its second season in the NRL? Plus also a few injuries and suspensions as well, and then other news that came out of the weekend as well. So let's get straight into it. So we'll start off with the Western Bulldogs and Luke Beveridge. Now, this has come off of the back of their 7-point loss to Hawthorn, obviously, where they were expected to win. To win again. They were expected to win. They were pretty much favourites to win this game, yet they didn't get over the line, which causes doubt about Luke Beveridge's future at the Dogs as the coach of the Dogs yet again. So pretty much, do I agree that it's finals or bust this season for them? I think definitely. The side they got now, you got superstars, of course, that they got, of course, like Bontempelli, Liberatore, who didn't play, who got concussed in that game, which I'll get to later. Then you got Then you got guys like, obviously, you got Norton in there. You got of course, was it Liam Jones as well, and then of course you got these youngsters as well, like Sam Darcy, he's definitely has stepped up a level this season compared to his first year last year, which is causing doubt for me at least over the future of Aaron Norton there, because obviously who would work better with Jamarra Ugle-Hagan? Is it Darcy? Is it Norton? Could there be space for all three? We don't know, but the problem, that's the thing. They have these stars in all three facets. They stars in defence in Jones. They got Bailey Dale, Caleb Daniel. The latter two that haven't played, only played a couple of times in recent weeks. So had to finally got that out there. Then in the midfield, obviously, I'm not going to name them because there's too many of them. And then also in the forward line, as I said, Norton, Ugle-Hagan. You got Norton, Ugle-Hagan, and you got Darcy in there. And the injury list doesn't make matters worse, obviously. Of course, you got Liberatore, you got concussed. You have Cody Waitman, who's going to be out for another couple of months with that when he re-aggravated his elbow injury, so he's going to be out for the next couple of months. So that's going to hurt them there. Of course, Bailey Smith, we all know he's out. He's out for all this season, and there's still doubts about his future after this season. Does he stay at the Dogs? Does he leave? I don't know. But yeah. So there's there's a lot of doubts everywhere down there. And yeah, I mean, I want to take a look at that the record that they had post the 2021 grand final. Remember the 2021 grand final. They were shooting the lights out in 2021. They were one of the top. They were top four all the way through, except for the final few rounds where they eventually dropped down to fifth. Then they went all the way through the grand final, and it looked like halfway through the third, that when they were 19 points up, everyone thought, yeah, Bulldogs are going to win this game. Until Melbourne decided to kick 17 of the next 18 goals for the game. After that, there's been this. I think Kane Corns has been the one. Not surprisingly, Kane Corns has been the one that has noticed this, where they've. There's been a lot of. Like for example, with the elimination final in 2022, where they were 41 points up, and they lost that by 2 goals against Fremantle. Where I still mention as one of the best first week one of finals of all time. So many, all 4 games are amazing. I thought that game was going to be the weak link in week 1, but it actually turned out to be the opposite. But yeah, so that was the problem there, and it obviously. It continued on to 2023, obviously. That West Coast loss late in the season, that ultimately did cost them a spot in the finals. They would have been a long shot to make finals anyways if they did win that West Coast game, but that just officially ended their season then and there. They finished in 9th position, and this season we all thought this is hopefully... This is the time where that 2021 Bulldogs pre-grand final that would come back. That hasn't happened. Well, it has happened. It has had glimpses of it, but not regularly. And it's caused Bevo's future to be once again be questioned. Okay, so the record, because there's 55 matches since that 2021 grand final, and it is fallen below 50%. Mostly it's been over 50% strike rate, but now with this loss, it's gone down below 50% after the 2021 grand final. So. That is a bit of a worry for me. I mean, you know, I didn't notice this at the Hawthorn game because I didn't watch this game quite obviously, but I did watch their loss against Essendon earlier that year. The one thing that stood out to me, and it was I remember when Essendon, because remember that they were 12. They were within like 2 goals of Essendon. Within like 15 minutes, Essendon were like 47 points up. And I remember that there was Marcus Bontempelli. He's sitting there on the bench, and the look of despair. And I thought to myself, that just reminds me of when in 2021 when on the stroke of 3/4 time when Melbourne kicked those 3 goals back to back in the last minute. I remember that. I remember that vividly. And his body language was like it's. I'm not saying he's given up in that, but I'm not doubting him. He's one of the best captains in the league. I'm not doubting his thing on that. But it looks like that when his team's losing in a big way too, even if he does a mountain of work, obviously, because in that game, obviously, he was held down pretty well by Sam Durham. That it looked like from his body language that it just looked a bit defeated. A bit defeated, to be honest. It does sound like a criticism. I think it is, but it just feels like to me as though it's a guy that, like, what if a new coach comes in and it just revives, and I think it could make a new coach there, a new set of eyes as head coach of the Dogs would be good for Bond. It'll make him maybe a better player, in my opinion. I think he's already a great player, but I get the feeling that under Bevo at the moment, he's, I can't think of the word. He's still a great player, but I think for me that I think he can't go past that when he's under Bevo. I think for me, if he's got a new coach at the helm at the Dogs, maybe that could help him into a better player and a better leader as well. But that's one thing I've noticed about Bond, that I've noticed ever since the 2021 grand final, when there's been, when the result is certain, his body language looks a bit defeated, which obvious, because obviously if you lose and there's no going back, and obviously you get to feel defeated. But I've seen that way too often from Marcus. So I think for me that I think Bevo, I think a new coach would probably work well, not only for Bond but for all of those players, to be honest, to make it even better, to be honest. But like a lot of other players, and I have this feeling that I have a bit of a gut feeling, or a bit of a hunch, that if the Bulldogs get a new coach, then I think there might be that might be enough for Bailey Smith to stay. I think if Bevo's there, I believe he might leave. In my opinion, that's what I think. So that's what I think, in my opinion. But with this side that Bevo's got, excuse me. When, of course, with this side that's got Bontempelli, Liberatore, McRae, Dale, Daniel, tomorrow Hugo Hagan, Darcy up and coming. All these guys, eventually they're gonna get Cody Waitman back. Eventually towards the end of the season, the home and away season. That side should challenge for finals. That's the problem here. And as I said, I get the feeling here that I get a bit of a feeling that, as I said, if they don't make finals this year, then I could see Bevo probably getting the sack. I believe, much like how Ross Lyon did at Fremantle in 2019 at the same time, at the same fashion. But I think for me, at least here, I mean, it's still a bit of a question mark about, is he going for, is he thinking of the now? Is he thinking of the future? You got guys like like Darcy and Sanders and that sort of stuff, who either are starting to develop into decent players, or the potential to, in the case of Sanders. I think for me, that's what's called, that's what's, I believe, confusing people is if you it's quite obvious here, if you say one thing of like, oh, we're in it for the now, then change your narrative about that to, oh, we're in for the future, it's gonna catch the eye of some people in the AFL media. It's gonna catch the eye of fans, especially the Bulldogs fans. They're gonna get confused of like, are we in for the now or the future? Which one is it? You can't be both. You can't be both in for the future and the now, in terms of premiership window wise. That's no such thing. So which one is it? So yeah, and I'm glad that they clarified over the last few weeks about that, after that whole confusion thing about the going in for the now and or in for the future thing. So yeah, but to end this topic off here, I think the Dogs, if they don't make finals with the side that they've got for 2 straight years, I believe Bevo is in serious trouble of losing his job, in my opinion. And I won't be surprised if if there's another club that has coaching trouble, why not take him on? Because obviously he's still a good coach, as they said on Classified during this week. He's going to go down as one of the greats and greats of that club. I mean, great coach of that club. I mean, he's the coach that broke that 62-year Premiership drought in 2016. He was the one that has made this club into one of the best in the league. I mean, with the likes of Bond and Liberatore and McRae and that. But the problem is, it's only yielded with one premiership and one premiership, 2 grand finals and one premiership, and only, 16, 19, 20, 21, only 2015, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22. So that's pretty much a decent record, but the side that they got, they should have at least won a couple more premierships, which is astounding. So to end on that, I think Bevo, I think his time is done there at the Dogs if they don't make finals, and it's gonna be interesting to see over the next few weeks what they do, what they will do. Moving on to another topic, which was about a certain round that may or may not have made its comeback. Came back, well, sort of under the radar, like comeback. And that is a little round called Rivalry Round, where a lot of rival teams versus each other in this particular round. And these are the games that was a part of this round. There was the SA showdown between Adelaide and Port Adelaide on Thursday night. On Friday night there was the Carlton Collingwood clash, which we all know the rivalry there. On Saturday afternoon we had the Sydney Derby, or Battle of the Bridge, what do you want to call it, between Sydney and GWS. And then on early Sunday night, we had the Q clash between Brizzy and the Gold Coast. Which I want to see. I want to see these rounds sort of come back. Like, I would love to see. I would love to see like a rivalry round where we have, as I said, these 4 matches. Then you have, Essendon versus Hawthorn, Essendon versus Hawthorn. What else is there? You have what else is there? What else is there? You have North Melbourne. You have North Melbourne. Well, I don't know what rivalries North Melbourne have at the moment because they're all been taken. So yeah. But anyways, we'd love to see these particular rounds come back. I know we're not going to get Heritage Round back because that's going to be a freaking long shot. But these type of rounds need to at least come back. We already got like we got opening round. We got like Anzac round. We got the Indigenous round, which that's coming up as well. But yeah. So yeah. So I think for me at least that yeah. So yeah. So just a bit of small talk about that. It will be very important, really, for the AFL to have more rounds. I know they've already got enough named rounds as it is, but as in opening round, you got Gather round, you got Anzac round, you have the Indigenous round. I think they had multicultural round, that sort of stuff. So I would love to see that sort of thing, rivalry round, that sort of thing come back, and yeah, just sort of nothing there. I feel like I hope that this is just some sort of coincidence that all four of these matches appeared in one round, and not something that maybe rivalry round is coming back. We don't know about that, but yeah, so excuse me. So let's move on from the AFL and move on to the NRL. Now, the one team I want to talk about, or the one thing also I want to talk about from the NRL side of things, is a team that this is only its second season in the NRL, which I feel I've just given it away by saying that. The Dolphins. Let's just say that the Dolphins. Talk about them. Let's talk about them. So at the moment, they are in the top four. They are two games behind. Behind the top guys in Cronulla and the Melbourne Storm. So yeah. They are a formidable side away from home. They have their current record of 3-1 away from home, which is great. Their home record is a little bit on par, pretty much 2-2, 2 wins and two losses there. I mean, they've been very good there, and also all of their 5 wins. All 5 of their wins have come in night matches this season. So far, so yeah, so pretty good there as well. There, and if you think about it as well here, if I just put their squad up quickly, I mean they got they got a very good mix of players in this squad who are obviously and some of these players are out injured as well, mind you, as well, with the likes of, you got the likes of Anthony Milford, you got Hamiso Tabau Fido, who will be instrumental for the Maroons in the State of Origin series. It's going to be coming up soon. You got Herbie Farnworth, who came across from the Broncos in the off season. You got Jermaine Sacco as well, and then of course you got Then of course you got Felice Kafusi, you got the Bromwich brothers. Just a very formidable squad. Also you got Thomas Feigler as well, another one that came across as well. And a lot of the credit for this has to go to Wayne Bennett. Not a lot of credit, but most of the credit has to go to Wayne Bennett. Of course, there's rumours currently right now that there's an offer to coach South Sydney, because obviously to be the full-time replacement. Obviously, of course, a few weeks ago, Jason Demetriou got the sack from South, and they're still looking for a permanent head coach, and that's why Wayne Bennett's been approached, or been rumoured to be approached for the Rabbitohs job. But I think for me at least, I mean, this squad here, it is great. It's got a lot of, you know, internationals in there. It's got of course, you got the Bromwich brothers in there. You got Jermaine Isako, who was important to the for the Kiwis in their Pacific Championship victory over the Kangaroos in New Zealand over the off season. Of course, you got a lot of Origin stars in there who will play a role in who will play a role in the Origin series, and it's a great mix as well, and they're delivering and these sort of results are being delivered that quickly as well. So it just feels like to me that it feels like to me, I'm not going to compare them to the Melbourne Storm when they first came into the NRL back in the late 90s, because obviously they won a flag in their they won a premiership in their second season in 1999. I'll sort of compare it to more of the Gold Coast Titans when they entered the competition in 2007, 2008 sort of thing. I think in their second season, actually, I might actually check that, actually. So 2007, so the Gold Coast Titans in their first year, 2007, they finished 12th. And then the next year in 2008, so actually, hang on, here we go. So 2007, they finished up in 12th in 2007. And then in 2008, the Titans ended up finishing 13th, which is quite low. And then in the next 2 years, in 2009 and 2010, I believe, they ended up in finals, I think. 2009, third, 2010 fourth. So 2 top 4 finishes over the next 2 years. So as I said, they're well in advanced team in terms of when from the Titans when they first entered, but I'm not going to enter them into the league of when the Melbourne Storm first entered in 2007 in 1998. I'm not gonna make that comparison just yet, because obviously, you know, obviously some people might go, ooh, that's you don't want to go too early on that one, but still, I believe for me that I think the Dolphins, for me, in my opinion, well, the season's still young. We're still just a tick over a third of the way through the season, so we're not even near halfway through an home and away season yet, but curiously paced. I remember saying a few weeks ago that they were at the top in terms of the Premiership window, right in the Premiership window, obviously, a few weeks ago, and as I said, I will do that very soon, later in the set, when we get to close to the halfway point of the home and away season, on both accounts for the AFL, the NRL in this case. So yeah. So to finish off that, I believe that I think at the end of the day, we'll have to wait until they verse a few better teams, to be honest. But I think they're right in at the moment. I believe. I think they're right in at this point in time. I think for me, there as well. So let's now move on to injuries here. First off, for the AFL, we got that is Crows forward Luke Pedlar. Just a bit of an update on that from, I think it was from a week or two ago. Again, when he dislocated his shoulder in that game against North Melbourne a few weeks ago. It was announced that he has continued training, but he will be out for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So not far until he'll be back on the park for the Crows. But there's some sad news that came out of the Brisbane Lions camp over the course of this week, because it was confirmed that both Lincoln McCarthy and Darcy Gardner separately suffered ACL injuries, which for both of them, unfortunately, has ended their 2024 seasons prematurely. A bit of a blow, really, a blow for both of them. In particular, Lincoln McCarthy, who we all know he way back in his Geelong days, he suffered a lot with injuries, and now he has to suffer through this as well at Brizzy. So good luck to both of them in their recoveries. Over at Collingwood, key forward Brody Myercheck, it could miss up to 3 weeks with a hamstring strain, which is a bit of a blow for Collingwood, since he's been one of the shining lights for them up forward this season. So they'll be missing up to 3 weeks with him there. Maybe someone there, someone not like Coxie, maybe might step up for them. The Hawthorn key forward in King Marbiel Chol is going to miss at least a week with a ligament injury in his injuring a ligament in his wrist. So he'll be out for up to a week there. Port Adelaide captain Connor Rozee is going to be out for at least 1 to 2 weeks after playing the showdown against the Crows with a minor hamstring strain. And I liked that Ken Hinkley was honest after that game and said, we shouldn't have played Rozee Connor in the showdown, to be honest, but at least they know that now. Swans key defender Tom McCartan has entered the AFL's 12-day concussion protocols after suffering a concussion over the weekend. In much more bad news, really, for their skipper in Callum Mills, obviously still recovering from that shoulder injury that he shockingly suffered in a Mad Monday. I think it was. He suffered. Now he suffered a further setback with a calf injury. Now he won't be available now until the last part of the home and away season. A bit of a double blow for the West Coast Eagles with Jake Warnerman, who's been one of the form key forwards in this in the competition over the last month. He suffered a minor hamstring injury as well as a concussion in West Coast tight 6-point loss to Essendon. And to make matters worse as well, Elliot Yeo, who was playing his 200th game on that Saturday night, suffered a groin injury, but the club hopes that it is minor, with the pain apparently saying lower than it has been in the past. So hopefully that's a good sign for Elliot Yeo there. To make matters worse, also for West Coast as well, Noah Long suffered a knee injury in that game against Essendon. The club hasn't confirmed the details of that injury, but they've admitted they are fearing the worst. So I presume their worst fears is ACL. I would presume there's been a lot of ACL injuries over the course of this season, to be honest, really. And and as I said at the top of the episode about the Dogs, is that their midfielder Tom Liberatore has entered concussion protocols for the second time in a month, and is this time going to be out indefinitely. So a bit of a blow there for the Dogs game against Richmond, their game against the Tigers. So onto the NRL, onto injuries from the NRL. To make matters worse for the Rabbitohs, their trio of Dean Hawkins, Jai Gray, and their skipper in Cam Murray is going to be set for lengthy stints on the sidelines with quadricep, syndesmosis, and hip injuries respectively. Of course, the injury to Cam Murray has effectively perhaps ruled him out of Origin 1, because he was probably going to be the starter for New South Wales. So that's more than likely ruled him out of that side for game 1, most likely. On the Melbourne Storm and their star duo in Jerome Hughes and my boy Ryan Pappenhausen are ruled out of their top of the table clash with Cronulla with calf and ankle injuries respectively. For Pappy, it was reported that it is the same ankle that he broke horrifically in the qualifying final last season against Brisbane. So hopefully it is not serious. Speaking of the Sharks, obviously Toby Rudolph will be out for at least a month with a knee injury, so he's going to be ruled out for the game against Melbourne down at Amy Park. A double blow for the Broncos, with their captain Adam Reynolds is set to miss 12 to 14 weeks after tearing his bicep, which will require surgery. So that's why it's 12 to 14 weeks recovery there for Adam Reynolds. And then to make matters worse for the Broncos, their star winger in Jesse Arthurs broke his jaw in their game over the weekend, and is going to miss the next 6 weeks. For over to Manly, their duo in Lachlan Croker and Nathan Brown are going to be sidelined with concussion and hip injuries respectively. And then finally as well, New Zealand Warriors forward Kurt Capewell, Gold Coast Titans halfback Tane Boyd, and Dolphins centre Tessie New are ruled out for this week with calf, wrist, and ankle injuries, respectively. There. Moving on to the suspensions. Firstly, the AFL. Collingwood forward Lachie Schultz was suspended for 1 match for striking Blake Acres. I saw that. I watched it live. There he strike Blake Acres in the back, in the neck region here, right there. Saw it punctured there, and it's automatically got him a 1-week suspension. This is a big one. Giants forward Callum Brown, who's been one of the revelations and one of the reasons why GWS are one of the top 2 or 3 best teams in the league right now. He was suspended for 3 matches for rough conduct. And to make matters worse for Tom Liberatore, alongside of his concussion, he was suspended for 1 match for rough conduct, which is purely epidemic now, because obviously he's going to be out indefinitely with concussion. So that's probably useless there. And then the NRL, there was also a couple of big suspensions also during the weekend as well. With West Tigers halfback Adam Caesar suspended for 4 games for a grade 3 dangerous conduct. Apparently it was his 2nd or 3rd offence, I think. So that's it. That's what's brought on the 4-week suspension. Panthers centre Isak Tago is suspended for 1 match for grade 2 dangerous contact. And then South second rower Jacob Host is suspended for 2 matches for a grade 2 dangerous contact as well. And then the other news that came out from the AFL land is that recently round 8 was the 3rd highest attended round in AFL history. So now officially, 2 counts really. Number 1, the top 3 all-time, top 3 highest attended rounds of all time are all from this year. Round 1, the first position is round 1. Second position round 7, which was last week, which was the previous week, and then round 8, obviously this weekend as well. And three of the top 4, and out of the 4 rounds that have got over 400,000 plus in a round, in a whole round, so to speak, 3 of them are from this year. So yeah, and that is a very high number too. Combined, let me do a bit of quick maths here. So 413. 5. So I want to add these up here. 408, 433, and then 403, 452. Here we go. It equates to about. It is. I don't know if I've got this right, but it's an extraordinarily high number. It has to be close to, let's say, close to what 1.2 million. My estimate over the course of those 3 rounds, which is insane. I mean, we saw a crowd. I saw in the last 12 to 18 months, the crowds in the AFL have been ridiculous. Let's put it that way. From the 2022 final series onwards, it's from round 23, like in 2022 onwards, it's just been big crowds, and it's definitely tell that AFL is definitely it's just happy happy to see big crowds back at the footy. You know, it was a bit bleak during that time here in 2020 and 2021, and towards the early part of 2022. Let's face it. Now 2023 crowds at an all-time high, and let's hope that those go up and up and up and up and up, and hopefully one day, possibly one day, 500,000 might get topped. I know that's a bit of a stretch, but it's heading there. It's heading there. Let's put it that way. But other things to mention, of course, during this round as well. The showdown between the Crows and the Power. It was the third highest showdown crowd attendance of all time, and also the highest for a Crows home game against Port Adelaide at 52,106. And then the next night at the Collingwood-Carlton game, it was the highest crowd attendance between the two sides at 88,362, eclipsing the round 23 game in 2022. For Carlton, it was the second highest home and away crowd attendance ever in their club's history. And it was also the fifth straight game that Carlton played in front of 80,000 plus at the MCG. Five straight games as well, which was a feat which was last achieved for Carlton back in the 50s or the 60s, I think I heard. So, which was just insane, really, on that front. And then the next day, GWS and Sydney GWS. It was the highest Sydney Derby crowd attendance at 40,337. It was Sydney's highest home crowd attendance this season, eclipsing round 0. I know, opening round, I don't care. Round 0 for the last time. But yeah. But it wasn't, and then also the Q Clash as well. The record Q Clash crowd as well of 30,285. I know the reason being because it was at the Gabba, but anyways. But matches other than the derbies and the showdowns and the rivalries like Carlton and Collingwood didn't just have records too. It was the fifth. In the Melbourne-Geelong game, it was the fifth highest Melbourne home crowd attendance against Geelong at 51,795, and then it was the second. And then at the West Coast Essendon game, it was the second highest West Coast home crowd attendance against Essendon. And probably close to up top 5, probably the most ever since they relocated to Optus Stadium at 51,751. They've always had these massive crowds at West Coast, no matter how good or how shit they are. But yeah, so who would have thought that one, the top 3 highest attended rounds in AFL history are now from this season, and three of the 4. And heading into this season, there was only one round, which the opening round in 2017, which had over 400,000. Now we got 4. 3 of them were from this season. Let's hope there's more of it, hopefully, to come, especially now we've got Sir Doug Nicholls' round coming up as well. So that's just pretty much it for this episode. Really, not much really to talk about. Stay tuned for the next episode, because I will be doing at the end of that episode. Next episode, I will be doing an update regarding my plans for NRL Magic Round, because I did the same thing with that, and plus also some catch up videos as well. And I'm going to plan on as well. You know, just there's a lot of videos I need to freaking catch up on. most definitely, but which we won't find the time there. But anyways, as well. But yeah. So as I said, like this video. Share steady body who is a Western Bulldogs fan, or if you're a Dolphins fan, or comment down below. Comment down below. Do you agree that that rivalry round did make it come back more under the radar? Do you agree with me on that front? Do you agree with me on other topics I've talked about? If you're a Bulldogs fan, comment down below. Do you think that Luke Beveridge's future is under threat? Future is under threat. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And one last thing, somewhere down there, click on the big red button which is labeled subscribe. Until next time, guys, I'll see you all later.